Live, this is Good Morning Texas.
Good Monday morning. Look who it is. It's your girl, Paige McCoy Smith. I'm so happy to be with you to start off this week. We have got a fantastic show. I'm going to be sitting down for a one-on-one interview with Dallas Wings head coach Jose Fernandez. I cannot wait for you to have an opportunity to get to know the man. He is bringing so much energy into town, and we are so excited about the season of the Dallas Wings. So we've got some great news coming up, especially it's all going to be happening at the AAC. Plus, we're going to be diving into a new trend called soft socializing. I know you're like, what the heck is that? And why are we talking about that? But it's all about a way of kind of staying connected with your family and friends without feeling like you've got to perform all the time for social media. So it's good stuff. And we're going to be kicking off barbecue week. We're going to be highlighting some of the best barbecue joints in town, beginning today with Moke's Texas Family Barbecue. They're going to be right here in the studio, and they're going to talk about what makes their barbecue so special. But first, I'm going to be talking to my friend Colin Myers. What should we start with? Sticky, gross, nasty, hot? Ugh.
Sand. Let's add sand in there.
Sand?
The only sand we're going to see is in the air, not a beach. Sorry.
Okay, I got you now.
No beaches right here.
Yes.
But add that in with the dust. No doubt you've heard about it. The good news is it keeps humidity down by a degree or two. Let's take a look, though. It looks beautiful out there. Our Rockwall Trend Tower camera. If you didn't know any better, you'd think this was it kind of looks like a beach, and the water looks really nice looking to the west. But look at that heat index right now, 86. Yikes, we're just warming up, especially you folks in McKinney, just warming up. 86 right now. Winds out of the southwest, about 20. Yesterday, those winds were breezy, gusting to 30, 35 miles an hour. Denton right now, heat index, not pretty, almost 90 degrees. Look at the wind turbines going right there. Look at that. So that wind is howling. DBU, heat index 89. So we're going in the wrong direction, okay? Temperatures, there you go. Heat index 90. Dallas just came in at 9 o'clock. So here's where we're going today. I think most of us hit a heat index at or near 100, probably closer to 3 or 4 o'clock. I have 101 at 4 o'clock. And so, again, a few degrees cooler than where we've been. Certainly Saturday, heat index around 104. Slight improvement. I don't know if you'll feel all that much improved from it, but we have that dry air moving in. I want to show you this. See that darker color there? Here's water vapor. This is that dust moving in. And what that's doing is helping us out in terms of limiting some of that humidity. It's limiting that water vapor content in the air. Pretty rare to see Houston that dry. This morning, that's filtering up towards Dallas. We'll talk about when we could see another rain chance and these heat indices coming up in just a bit. Paige.
Okay, we're excited because you know what? The Dallas Wings are off to their best start in team history and will soon be playing 3 games in downtown Dallas, their future home. And look who's here to tell us about all the excitement of big GMT. Welcome to Dallas Wings head coach, Mr. Jose Fernandez. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Paige. Thank you for having me.
I am very excited to have you, and congratulations on a great start. Let's also take a moment to kind of get to know you. Your first ever job in the WNBA, and it follows 25 successful years as head coach for the University of South Florida's women's basketball team. Why the Dallas Wings, and why now?
It was the right time for me and my family, and being in college for 25 years and in Tampa, very thankful for the opportunity that the University of South Florida gave me and my family. But the growth of the league and the opportunity to coach one of the best players in the entire world, and there was a lot of excitement with the brand new practice facility, the #1 pick, free agency, so a lot of reasons.
Yeah, the timing is right, not just for your family, but also the fever that we're experiencing with women's basketball. It's an exciting time to be a part of it. But I got to tell you, you're a Florida guy. You were born in Miami, you're raised in Miami, you went to college in Florida, you coached in Miami, then in Tampa, moved here with your wife, 8 dogs, and one of your 5 daughters. This is a major transition for you on a personal level. How has it been so far being in the Lone Star State?
Yeah, we're very excited for the DFW area to be our home for basketball season, right? So we'll be going back and forth in the off season from Tampa to Dallas, but everyone has been so welcoming to my family and I, and our fur babies.
Or your little furry friends too?
Yeah, furry friends, so it's been great.
I bet that your life is busy, my friend. So what makes the Wings so exciting, particularly this year and this season?
I think our style of play and our youth, our enthusiasm. I think we have a good mixture of veterans and young presence on our roster. And I think when you come out and see us play, I think when you see the offensive system and the energy and the excitement that the product that we put on the floor, that's why it's an exciting year for the Wings, and we're excited to come here and play in the AAC here on July 12th.
Well, and that's a big news too. Is the fact that you are going to be playing 3 games at the American Airlines Center this summer. The first one, of course, is July the 12th, and that's against the Chicago Sky. What does it mean to take the court at the AAC, such an iconic basketball institution?
Yeah, I mean, historic building.
Yeah.
NBA arena, and it just shows the growth of the WNBA and where the league is at the current time and where our Wings organization is right now.
Why do you think that is? What is it about women's basketball that we've now finally seen this increase in popularity and in attendance at these games?
Well, I think, number one, it starts with the players and the product that we put on the floor. Right. And now it's also gained the media attention that it deserves.
Right, it's kind of about time for something like this.
Yes, it is.
All right, so what should fans be looking out for in each of the upcoming games at the AAC? Who should we be kind of keeping an eye on?
Well, it starts, you got to keep an eye on us, right?
Yeah.
In Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd and Jess Shepard, Arike Ogunbowale, that's been with our organization for a very long time. But there's a lot of excitement for our roster. But it starts with Chicago's coming in here with a very good center in Camila Cardoso, Skylar Diggins, who's been in this league for a very, very long time and has a lot of accolades, Natasha Cloud. So they got a very, very good roster, and we had an incredibly exciting game at UT Arlington the last time we played them.
All right, well, it's going to be exciting. What are your expectations of this season? What are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I came here to Dallas to win, and we're off to a good start. The job's not done. So I think as we head on to the rest of the schedule is to make sure that we put ourselves in playoff contention, and we're battling for a top 4 or 5 seed.
All right. Well, wonderful. Texas welcomes you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for having me.
It. All right, you can watch the Dallas Wings in action at the American Airlines Center on July 12th against the Chicago Sky, on August 17th against Golden State, and on August 20th against the Indiana Fever. For more information and tickets, go to thewings.WNBA.com. You can also watch the Dallas Wings on KFAA Channel 29. But guess what? The Dallas Wings want you to join them at the AAC on July the 12th. That's right. Guess what? We've got 4 tickets to give away right now. All you have to do to win is to be the 8th caller to win. Just call 214-977-6008 or 888-446-8880. Good luck. Summer is full of invitations, from backyard barbecues to happy hours, but what if your social life didn't have to leave you feeling exhausted? A growing trend called soft socializing is encouraging people to connect with others in more meaningful, low-pressure ways. And this morning, Shantae Jackson, a.k.a. the homegirl therapist, is with us to break it down. Hello.
Hey, girl.
All right, what is all this about? This whole idea of soft socializing. Never heard of it. Tell me more.
You know, they always like to come up with new terms for old things, right? And so soft socializing is basically socializing with low connection, low pressure, right?
Low pressure.
Yes, right. And so it's, you want to connect, but you don't have to be so big and elaborate all the time. It's the simple things in life that you can still connect with your friends.
Because now with social media, we always feel like we have to be on and we have to perform.
Yes.
Because we have to let the world know how fabulous we are and how much we're performing and how we've got glitz and glam and all the things all the time.
All the pictures, all the things.
So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of soft socializing.
So a pro, I would say, is that the pressure is off, right? You are able to go and be yourself, and you don't have to be on all the time. We have so many things that we are juggling in life right now, so many roles, from caretakers, spouses, children, all the things. And so a pro is I don't have to think so much about socializing with my friends and having those connections. And soft socializing allows you to do that with less exhaustion. A con, I would say, not too many, but if you soft socialize too much, you might find yourself feeling isolated and withdrawn.
And
so
also
we have
maybe
to be
not putting as much effort
absolutely,
into it. So
absolutely.
that does require some effort. Okay.
Intentionality.
Well, and right now we're in an era, another coined term of social burnout. You
Yes.
know, both like one-on-one, but also when it comes to social media. You know, it's harder and harder just to have these kind of one-on-one conversations without feeling like you've got to alert the world that you're having chicken parmesan that night for dinner.
Right.
You know, so how
Right.
can soft socializing help us stay connected without feeling kind of emotionally drained?
Right. So some things I would say, think going to get coffee with your friend. Think doing things at home where you are completing tasks, but you're also connecting with your friend. You guys can do it together. We burn out socially because we always have to perform. We have to be on. We have to make sure that everything looks perfect and aesthetically pleasing. And sometimes life is just not that.
And also the whole dress to impress. That takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort.
Absolutely.
What if you just kind of decided you wanted to go and have a walk? You know,
Perfect.
just hang out, talk. That way you don't have
Afterward,
to get
yep.
all dolled
Yep.
up. Okay, and it can also be something that I think would be more easily incorporated into your life.
Yes, because we have to do all this stuff for work. So when I get off of work, hey, let's just change clothes and go for a walk just to decompress and debrief after work together, right? And I have a friend, I don't want to put on and find a new outfit every time we have to go out and hang out. Life is crazy, things are expensive. We can do things at home.
Yeah, and I think that you're not like in any way compromising or selling out, or we all have this fear of FOMO, this fear of missing out, that we've got to be participating in a part or somehow we're not being included.
Yeah.
But the fact is that we have a tendency to pack our social calendars so
much
tight that it can be unhealthy for us. So
Absolutely.
setting those boundaries while nurturing friendships, I don't know. That seems like a nice balance.
I think that's the perfect balance in the world that we live in. Having those boundaries and having friends and connections that understand the area of life that we're in. Life gets busy, and sometimes in those things, we need to still have those meaningful connections without feeling like it has to be so big and elaborate.
And there's also a big difference between spending time alone and being lonely. Kind of protecting your peace with also, and there's a difference between protecting your peace and then kind of unintentionally isolating yourself.
Yeah, protecting your peace that's great for everybody, and it's supposed to be intentional and makes you feel grounded. When we lean into the isolation, it's something more deeper rooted in that, and that comes from anxiety, fear, not wanting to have those new interactions because you are exhausted. And so we want you to protect your peace, but also we are humans. We need people. We need those connections.
We need to socialize.
Yes, we need those. And so it doesn't have to be big. It can be something soft.
All right, one last question. If you could leave our viewers with one challenge this week to help them embrace this whole notion of socializing with friendships and connections, what would that be?
I would say find a task, find something that you want to do at the house, and connect with that one person. Hey, I'm going to cook a new recipe. Why don't you come over?
Yeah.
Just something simple, nothing too big.
All right, where can people find out more about you, darling?
You can find me at thehomegirltherapist.com and on social media, The Home Girl Therapist.
Awesome. This has been fun. Thanks
Awesome.
so much. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
it.
Paige.
Well, you know what? There's going to be plenty of socializing and celebrating this week as America turns 250 years old. Lily Watson, a.k.a. Betsy Ross of Camp Crafty, is here with easy craft ideas for all ages to celebrate and commemorate the once-in-a-lifetime American summer. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you,
Look
Paige.
at you.
I love a birthday. I love this country and I love a birthday.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Betsy Ross because there is a reason why, of course, and one thing that I think is special about this particular 4th of July is that it really speaks to the history. 250 years. Betsy Ross was part of the fabric, no pun intended, of America.
Yes.
Tell me about who the woman was.
You can fact check me on this. I did have this in my closet. I wanted to wear this today just in respect of the fact, you know, I think a lot of times when we talk about female-owned businesses, we talk about it being some new or novel thing.
Right.
And Betsy Ross, technically one of the founding fathers of our country when it came to the design of our flag and our history, was a woman-owned, you know, business. She had her own upholstery shop, and she did that on her own as a businesswoman. And so the history of women-owned businesses and women's sovereignty in our country is as old as our country. And I always think that's something that we don't talk about enough. You know, we act like this is new, but it's really a part of our tradition.
All right. Well, also something that was part of the tradition back in the day were something called rag bags. And that's what we're going to be making. So
Yes.
tell me, what is a rag bag?
You know
Let's
what?
start there.
Save your money for the fun. I wanted to talk about the history of our rag bags. So the rag bags was a tradition, you know, we didn't have the landfill in 1776. Everything was, we really wanted to conserve our resources. There was even a rag man who would come collect your rags that you didn't use for patching or crafts, and they would turn that fiber into paper. Today, we're going to make a lot with our rags, starting with these really cute flag canvases.
I love that. What a cute,
Yes.
this would be make for a great centerpiece. And also, the feel of that does have like a historical feel. It really does speak once again to 250 years.
It's really cute for all ages. I found, you know, when we think about kids' crafts that we want to keep forever, I know I love to reiterate on the show, like it's all about what you put out. If you want it to look a certain way.
Well, let's start.
Yes.
I want to make sure we've got time to do
I
all
like
of
this canvas board.
Okay.
It just kind of keeps things sturdy.
All right.
So I brought you some glue, some Mod Podge. I'm going to put that in there for you.
All righty.
And your job is to start shopping with our rags. So you want your red background.
Okay.
I have this polka dot here.
Oh,
I have bandana.
I'm gonna do the
that's
bandana.
Gonna look
I love the bandana.
so cute.
That's kind of my thing. I'm
Yes,
a Fort Worth
here's
gal.
your
You know how I
That's
roll.
exactly, you know,
Right.
I've always been a big fan of polka
So
dots.
you do this on the canvas,
Yes,
not on the board
I
itself,
like to
not
wash
on
the board with glue.
Okay.
And then it's super easy to lay your fabric on top, and
Okay.
it loves the porousness of the fabric. So layer one is already done.
Okay.
And then what we can start looking at
And this is something, I'm using the bandana fabric, but you can actually use, I have tons of these bandanas at home.
Yes, I really would love everyone to try to look around. You know, my dog Almond is watching at home. I have to tell her good
hi,
morning.
Almond.
Hi, Almond.
How are
We
you?
love you. And she did.
Having a rough morning?
Well, she did a couple weeks ago make a small hole in my blue jeans. So we're
You were
using
having a rough
that.
morning.
Look
Okay.
at how great, though,
Okay.
it looks on our flag.
I love it.
The fabric has a second life. And so
love
thank you,
it.
Almond. I didn't know I needed a hole in my
No,
jeans
you just
like that.
didn't know, so now you were
So
able
it's
to
just more
repurpose.
layers of glue, layer
And then I
place.
also love the fact that you did these little buttons.
Yes. So
How
then,
cute is that?
You know, that's really where we get to talk to the kids about the history of the flag.
Okay.
Do you want to put a few buttons for that circle? Do you want to go fuller? So here we have some.
And while we're wrapping this up, because sadly we are out of time, but the
Yes.
thing is that what you're able to do here is not only give the kids something fun to do, especially during these hot summer days, but you're learning some history, which is so important.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Where can people find you?
CampCraftyParties.com and camp.crafty on Instagram. Have fun with your rags. We want to see what you make.
I love
Happy
it.
birthday,
Thank
America.
you so much. Happy birthday, America. Okay, still ahead. We are kicking off barbecue week with Moke's Barbecue. So get your taste buds ready. GMT is back in just 2 minutes. Woo! It's time for another Go with the Pros episode. With the Texas temperatures hovering in the triple digits, losing your air conditioning can really be a crisis. I recently met with a U.S. veteran who found himself without air conditioning and called the professionals with A#1 Air, who not only stepped in to resolve the problem, but went above and beyond for he and his family. Recently, Army veteran Jake Murphy and his family found themselves in a heated situation. Their air conditioning had gone out, so they needed help. They sought A#1 Air to resolve this problem, and the rest is a cooler, positive history. Good morning to you both. This is Jake Murphy, as well as Nicholas Hartman, to tell us more about this experience. So Jake, take me back. What was happening to you during this time and the challenges that you experienced with your air conditioning?
So in July, I woke up and found it was very hot in my house, and I called a local service technician team, and they found the problem. They went up into the unit and they said, we found the problem, we'll remove it and replace it. Not knowing the details of the hardware, I just said, good to go, fine, just make my house cooler. And for about 2 weeks, it was good, but then it got hot again. I had them come back out and they said, we don't know what we can do more because we fixed the part. So I went to the OEM, and the OEM just says, you're out of luck, you're out of warranty because you changed the part. So kind of a problem built on a problem.
Yeah, and so it left you and your entire family in a really difficult situation. So Nick, my question turns to you. Talking about a situation like this, when you step in, how do you respond, and how does your respond really speak to the values of A#1 Air?
It starts with urgency, right? Like the heat in your home, it's not fun. It's unbearable. So when the call comes in, start to finish, it's all about urgency. So focus on getting someone out there as soon as possible, hopefully same day if we can. If it's a replacement situation or repair, try and get that taken care of ASAP. And we back that all with our values: integrity, honesty, and just simply doing the right thing, right? We want to act as if it's our home or our family's home. And if we follow those steps, we can ensure we're taking care of the customer or their family.
Well, Jake, I want to ask you, when A#1 Air showed up, what stood out to you with regards to their arrival, their professionalism, and their speed of service to resolving your problem?
Yeah, so dual fold. When A1 showed up, I almost felt like I was back in the Army. It was a team. I had a team of soldiers I was leading. I could tell immediately they had a team and they had direction, and their purpose was just to address the issue and fix it. So when they arrived and started working with me, not at me, and I explained the problem and they worked with it, I could tell that team was here to work hard and get it done, which they certainly did.
You know, the slogan that we're familiar with is guaranteed right day or night. I'm curious about how you apply that to situations like Jake's.
Well, we look at it as it's a people business, right? Yes, there's things and parts that we need to repair or replace, but if we look at it as a people business and we have people available to help them, it can help us guarantee that we're going to take care of the problem of that home day or night. And if we have to adapt and change and overcome different obstacles, then we do that as a team. And that comes from the leadership down.
Jake, since you were able to get your air conditioning resolved, what has your life been like at home with your family?
Very cool, for sure. We're not sweltering in the heat that we were dealing with the units going out, and we now can resolve go on our lives. And well, those times when we were sweating it out, it was a struggle. So just knowing that we had the support of the A1 team, it made a huge difference for us, so that we can wake up in the morning and get ready to go.
You know, your time in the service as a member of the Army was not easy. You met with some very difficult challenges. You suffered some catastrophic injuries, but it was a team that helped you land where you are today and be in the home that you currently reside. How did A#1 Air step in to be a part of this larger story?
I couldn't believe how they came in, they stepped through the door. First off, they could feel the air problem and they looked at it. But then I was astounded at their ability to not talk at me, but talk with me and ask questions and show, we want to solve your problem. We're gonna explain how we're gonna do it and do it the right way. And that's what they did. By working with me and listening, we've got new units here. We have a much cooler home, and the way that they went about their business of working directly every time with a question and answer rather than just doing stuff and leaving, it put me in a much better place than I could have expected.
Wonderful. Thank you again. We appreciate you. For any air conditioning, plumbing, or electrical needs, give A#1 Air a call at 1-800-NEW-COOL or visit their website at a#1air.com.
Go with the pros, presented by A#1 Air. Live, this is Good Morning Texas.
Welcome back to GMT. I'm with Colin Myers to tell us about this hot, sticky, yucky, awful weather. You're like the bearer of bad news.
You know what? You know what's interesting? Back in 2019, I was on Millionaire as a part of ABC.
You were?
5 local anchors, and they gave me this question for like $10,000. And it was, what's the dust that travels across the Atlantic? And they're like, and Chris Harrison says, you know what? I think we gave you the wrong question. Hilarious, but it was true, and I got it, of course.
And you got it right because he knows.
One of the few. No, I'm just kidding. But
Yes.
it's warm and humid. Let's add dust to it.
Well, and what is the dust?
It travels 5,000 miles over the Atlantic, and we'll show you on water vapor. You can actually see it coming in right now. This is something that happens pretty often. In fact, almost every June, this is what happens as this crosses the Atlantic into the Gulf. Now, if there were tropical development, this would be our friend. It limits tropical development. It doesn't allow evaporation and lifting of air parcels of water. And look at all the dry right here. See all the darker colors? That's because there's an absence of water vapor. That's all dry air pushing in. So here it is, okay? Here's the western coast of Africa. This is picked up 5,000 to 10,000 feet in the air. Very tiny, invisible, almost parcels, invisible, what am I saying? That moves in across the Atlantic. So here we go today. I think this model does a pretty good job. We're starting right now, picking up over South Texas, riding north over the I-35 corridor, over towards North Texas by late today. We'll see more haze this afternoon. The good news is this actually keeps our humidity down, only a degree or two. But then that lifts to the north. Now watch tonight, okay, 9, 10 o'clock. That kind of pushes actually far into West Texas. That's amazing that it can make it that far up to where the jet stream is. And then that'll be carried north. But don't be surprised if you see, you'll notice the haze this afternoon. And those of you who washed your car, we have you to thank for this. I'm kidding. This has been traveling across the Atlantic for about a week, week and a half. So for us, the good news, it keeps our humidity down a bit, but 99, 98, 97. You know you're in Texas summer when 97 actually looks pretty good. 98 on Thursday, 99 on Friday. 4th of July, early look. It's going to be hot. I know folks are already attending fireworks celebrations now. These are going to be hot and humid evenings. We'll introduce another little rain chance on Sunday. I will have to up that likely as we get closer. Looks like a break in the pattern Sunday and Monday, but temperatures not all that great, Paige. Temps in the 90s. Look for that triple digits, though, on Saturday.
It's going to be hot. You know what? Hosting for the 4th of July also can be stressful when you're deciding what to serve your guests. To make it easier for you, registered dietitian and author Carissa Galloway has some ideas. She joins me to share some easy recipes and family favorites that deliver big flavor and plenty of patriotic flair. Hello, Carissa.
Good morning, Paige. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad that you're here. So when planning for the 4th of July, what tips do you have?
I mean, I think the main tip is keeping it stress-free. This is not a fancy meal. This isn't Christmas. This isn't Thanksgiving. It should be fun. It should be kid-friendly and without having that strict time. Hopefully, you guys can take advantage of warm but not, too cloudy or rainy weather, and then keep hydration in mind for your guests, and then take advantage of in-season produce. It's going to be more affordable and absolutely delicious.
All right, you're right. It is going to be hot. It's important that we stay hydrated and keeping it easy, keeping it safe, keeping it simple so that we can avoid that stress. So what is a staple for you on the 4th?
Well, you said stress-free, and that's it. These hell of a good dips make 4th of July hosting simple and stress-free, no matter whether it's a backyard barbecue, pool party, or neighborhood gathering. The hell of a good dips are an easy way to add big flavor with absolutely minimal prep. Just pair them with chips, veggies, any of your favorite dippables, and you've got a simple, crowd-pleasing snack. And as a dietitian, I like that they're made with real milk and cream, and you're gonna find them in 7 different flavors, including French onion, which is our family's absolute favorite, jalapeno cheddar, and buttermilk ranch, and they're super easy to find at the dairy dip aisle of your supermarket.
Oh my gosh, they sound delicious. Does hell of a good work for more than just dipping?
Yeah, I mean, it's just all about adding delicious flavor easily, and it can elevate classic cookout favorites as a topping. So I like the jalapeno cheddar, which I have here, is over here on my burger. So we're leaning into that cheddar cheeseburger idea. French onion could go on a little turkey slider, or I like the buttermilk ranch. My kids like a dollop of that on their hot dogs. So these are just some of the ideas. You can take it to the next level, make a little layered sort of truffle with your favorite dippables there as well. But for more ideas and recipe inspiration, you can always hop over to hellofagood.com.
All right, so any other essential 4th of July must-haves for your spread?
Yeah, funny story about that. My must-have was watermelon because, right, it's in season, it's delicious. It's almost 100% water to hydrate, and I bought it for the segment and my family ate it all. So it just beautiful watermelon that was going to be here. And then my husband really likes watermelon, but that's the key, right? Things that are full of wonderful flavor, full of hydration. And then the celery sticks I have here too, these are 96% water. So add those into your dip and just set out lots of hydration for your guests, but have fun. It's no stress. It's a celebration.
All right, go get yourself another watermelon. Thank you for joining us, Carissa. We appreciate it. For more entertaining ideas and recipe inspiration, visit hellofagood.com. Tomorrow on GMT, we meet the new Miss Texas of 2026, Reagan Hutzel, and share her excitement and plans for the future. And the owner of Clay and Stone joins us to share her handmade designs and how she overcame life's hurdles. And we're going to be heading out to the patio for some barbecue from Moog's Barbecue as we kick off GMT's Barbecue Week. That's all going to be coming up. Don't go anywhere. There's more GMT after the break. We'll be right back. Several local music artists have joined us to celebrate Black Music Month, and today a month-long celebration continues with Mac Music. He is an up-and-coming artist who joins us to dive deeper into his story and, of course, his sound. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm so happy to have you here. And when you think about, I mean, you're young, obviously, you're an emerging artist. When you think about the artists that came before you, is there one or two that really come to mind that served as a big inspiration for you?
I would say my first one is actually a pretty unknown one named Dominic Fike, and he's from Florida, and he plays, all the instruments himself as well. But initially, my main one was actually Kanye West for a while.
Really?
Yeah, it was just, his production just had me in awe, and I spent at least half of, my musical creating time trying to, how do I sound like Kanye,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and also you have the nickname of being the Little Prince, after of course, iconic Prince, because there are similarities between the two of you. You played many different instruments, and that kind of compliment of being compared with such a master and an icon like Prince must mean a lot to you. How do you feel when people say that to you?
It's very flattering. That's a huge title, but I think it's just the instruments. It's the instruments that make them say that, and
I don't think it's just the instruments.
You don't?
No, I think that it is your musical flavor, your artistic abilities, your ability, and your performance quality. So I saw him live in concert, and I can see.
What?
I did. It was
I never got to
fantastic.
see him.
It was fantastic.
You're so lucky.
All right. So you're not just, like we talked about, you're not just a singer. You also, you write, produce, you play, as I mentioned, multiple different instruments. When did you realize that music was going to be something more for you than just a hobby?
So my mom put me in piano lessons when I was 7, and I did not want to do them. And the only time that I enjoyed playing the piano was whenever I got to do my recitals and everybody would start clapping. That was it. That was the only reason I liked piano. But I did piano for a while. I got into jazz music and whatnot. But what made me really want to get into music is whenever I first opened GarageBand. And I played with my friend. Like, my friend was sitting there with me. I opened up GarageBand for the first time. I'm pressing the little
Okay, so that's the
keyboard.
video game. For people who are not familiar with GarageBand, we're not talking about like pulling up his garage and all of a sudden he has a band. It is a video game, correct?
Yeah, well, it's a music making software.
Music making software. Okay.
So all of our computers, our iPads, all that stuff, it comes with GarageBand. And so anybody could just load up GarageBand and make some music. And I played that, and my friend was like, "Can we play video games by now?" And I'm like, "I'm on music now."
That's what you're on. That's where you're going to be focusing your time and your energy. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the fact that your mom really was an influence on you. You started playing the piano at a very young age, and your mom did sign you up for jazz band. I know that those piano lessons, I went through that as well, without nearly as much proficiency as you. So what would you say, though, to that 7-year-old version of yourself when you were going through those painful piano lessons? What would you say to that version of you?
I would say just kind of chill out and have fun. It was like I was doing a lot of lessons, a lot of, music theory and all this stuff. And piano was, it was a very rigid experience. And so I would just tell younger 7-year-old me, just chill out, still worry about progressing, but have more fun, enjoy the process, because that's the whole point of playing the instrument in the first place, is just to have some fun. So that's what I would tell him.
You bring up a good point. Piano requires so much technique, so much discipline. And to be able to incorporate the fun, that's really where the heart of music comes from. So your music, it blends hip hop and it also blends pop. Do you ever feel any kind of pressure to fit into one specific genre of music?
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of artists do, but I don't do it so much anymore, but I used to submit my music for people to review and whatnot, and they would tell me, oh, it needs to be like this, it needs to be like that, and it would be, valid critiques. But now, I try my best to not really think about that because, at least in my opinion, the most acceptable and best forms of art that we've seen don't come from people that are trying to find the secret formula to how to, like, it just comes from being authentic and vulnerable and just enjoying the experience. It's an experiment. Yeah.
All right, well, you're about to perform for us. What's the
Yes.
name of the song?
Eye of the Storm.
Eye of the Storm.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. We're looking forward to that. We really do appreciate it. Okay, to learn more about Mac Music and to follow his journey, what we want you to do is to go to macmusic.com. Now, I'm going to spell that out for you because we want you to participate and follow his career. That's mxckmusic.com. We're so excited that he's going to be performing. So now, here he is performing his latest song, Eye of the Storm. Take it away, Mac.
I met a girl in the middle of Ipanema. I asked her as I passed her by, can I take your hand for one night and we could dish the neon lights? She said, you know I'm not much of a dancer, but I can move from side to side. I told her that's okay, my lover. We could slow dance through the night. Now we're rocking away to the beat of the song. She's got me in a trance, in the eye of the storm. Now we're rocking away like there's nobody home. She's got me in a trance, in the eye of the storm. La Bandera to La Ferrari, I fought a woman of the night. A kamikaze to cost her body, she's a killer in disguise. I found a lover, I found a lover, oh, oh, I found a lover for the night. I found a lover, I found a lover, oh, oh, I seized the woman in my eye. Now we're rocking away to the beat of the song. She's got me in a trance, in the eye of the storm. Now we're rocking away like there's nobody home. She's got me in a trance, in the eye of the storm.
Yes, indeed. We are kicking off barbecue week, and that's no bull. This is David Cole. He is with Moke's Family Texas Barbecue. And boy, we are grilling up some good stuff. Good morning to you, David.
Good morning. How are you doing, Paige?
I am doing great. You know, Moke's Barbecue has been a tradition, over 70 years of combined experience. You were here back in the World Cup, was played in 1994. Remembered Moke's and being in the West End. That's where your home is. And you know what? The West End's coming back.
You know, when I came in 1994 to watch the World Cup, it was exciting. The West End was vibrant, and we're doing our part to bring it back, and that's what we're focusing on, and we have been for the last 20 years. And now with Moke's 2.5 years old, we are going to do our part to make sure it happens.
Well, we're certainly grilling up some yummy, delicious steaks. You're known for lots of famous cuts of steak. All of it is absolutely delicious, and all of it is traditional Texas flavors. You came on board with Moke's and really brought your own style and flavor. Tell us about these different cuts and what makes your barbecue stand out among the rest.
Well, first of all, we're going to start off with our beef Texas dino rib.
Dino rib.
Which Chef Juan is going to cut up for you. And look at all that meat on that bone. Now, that has become famous along this World Cup in Japan, Austria, Argentina. They have loved this ever since.
Because when they think about Texas, you know, a Texas culinary favorite is, of course, barbecue. And now, so when people think about Texas, they think about everything being bigger in Texas. And when they come and visit Moke's, they are not disappointed. How many pounds is that sucker?
Well, actually, that's about a 2-pound bone filled with meat. And that brisket right there, here's the thing about barbecue. It will teach you patience. When that brisket starts off at 18, 19 pounds and ends up about 7 pounds, it's been a long time cooking.
It has been a long time cooking, and just looking at the juices and the flavors and your seasoning, that's something unique. What type of wood do you use for your barbecue?
Well, I use a combined hickory and pecan to smoke our meat. Chef Juan picks out the best meats. He's responsible for making sure that everything we get is high quality. And when it comes to our season, it's a basic Texas barbecue recipe, which is pepper, salt, and a dash of garlic.
There's no reason to make it complicated. I'm wondering if you could just take a little slice off for me to try a little sample of it as we continue to talk. We were talking about the West End, and that when I was growing up here, it was the happening place to be. It's had some challenges, but now it's starting to revive, and it's kind of about time. More businesses are paying attention and taking note and participating, and more people are coming to enjoy that vibrant part of town. What is it about the West End that you think people are going to continue to come back to and bring it back to its original glory?
Well, the West End has always been a historic center, I believe, of the downtown Dallas area, from JFK, and then just the fact that it's, like you said, back in the 70s and 80s, it was hopping. I bet I can ask you a question. How many restaurants do you think are down there now?
Gosh, that's a tough question. 8?
There are 10 restaurants.
Wow.
All up and down the West End on North Market Street. Moke's is the newest addition to all of that from 2.5 years ago, and soon to be 11 restaurants.
Wow, that is so exciting, and you're a part of those different kinds of restaurant concepts as well. Can I take a little nibble of this? Yes. Ooh, let's see. Man alive. I know that you said that the seasoning's not that complicated, but there's something that you did in that rub that makes that really special. You also have an array of different sides. What other kind of deliciousness can we expect there?
Well, one of the things you can do is we have, traditional coleslaw. We have a sweet cream corn that is my favorite. It is also followed by a bean soup. Now, some people...
Bean soup?
It is more of a borracho bean soup than a regular pork and beans or ranch-style beans. And, of course, we have our peach cobbler and pecan pie. But to me, my favorite, besides the brisket, is going to be that chicken.
Ooh!
Leg quarter. It is slow smoked. It's juicy. It's
Slice some of that up for me, my friend. I want to take advantage of this while you're here. Yeah, I want to have a taste of the chicken. And it's great that you've opened up shop in the West End. You're taking a chance, and it certainly has paid off. World Cup fans, they're coming, and they tell me about what that experience is like being in Moke's and watching the World Cup.
World Cup has been phenomenal for us in the West End. It's brought us back to focus, and with us being the center of barbecue down here in the West End, it has really helped the West End come alive. And every restaurant that's down there, every shop, Exactly.
I'm sorry. I was listening to you. I just got a little distracted by the flavors, okay?
And it's awesome to hear the chants and how much people love their soccer, their football. And seeing all these fans from Argentina to Austria, Norway, it's just been so exciting. I've enjoyed it myself.
Well, you have been so much fun to be around. This has been awesome. I want to encourage people to come and visit. You can also visit them online, which is mokestexasbbq.com. I'm going to stick around. Stay with us. We've got a little bit more GMT to come up while I continue to sample some of these delicious flavors. We will be right back.
Wardrobe for our hosts is sponsored by Dillard's at North Park Center.
I cannot think of a better way to have kicked off barbecue week than with Moke's right here in the West End. Great new culinary concept. Been open for a couple of years. But, man, they're low and slow. It cannot be beat. We got 4th of July coming up, too.
We do, and that bull's going to be smoking all weekend long. So come grab a picture with El Toro and come have fun, have some good barbecue brisket with us.
Mm-hmm. And also your cornbread. Now, I understand, sir, this is cornbread that can't be beat.
It cannot be beat. It is homemade, and it is a nice, sweet flavor to that. It goes well with
Oh, my gosh. My frustration with cornbread is that it's so often dry. This is like not. This is so good and moist and delicious. And there, my photographer just took a piece of the cornbread. He is so bad. My crew's going to be so happy to have this food. Thank you so much. Remember, go check them out. 4th of July, it's going to be a lot happening at Moke's. Thank you for watching GMT.
Come on down to the West End and join us. Have a happy 4th of July and celebrate too.